So I've made a bunch of videos on various aspects of business, running business, from customer service, products, people. And if you're wondering, if you're thinking about setting up a business and you're like, what's it really like? Because I personally think that most people shouldn't start a business. They should get a job and let someone else take the stress. And I say stress because it is. Okay, but you want to do it. What do you need? What key skills do you need? And the key one for me is, I'm going to say tenacity. I could also phrase it as perseverance, but I'm going to go with tenacity. One, because I'm not sure how to spell perseverance, but tenacity, because day in, day out, you'll have problems. And if it's your business, you're the one that has to solve the problems. And that takes tenacity to, you had a whole load of things planned for today, but there's a problem. And it's you that's got to sort that problem out, whether it be no electricity, no internet, the engine won't start on the truck, whatever your business is. For me, in e-commerce, it was maybe staff not turning up, it was power failures, some kind of problem, lorries crashing into buildings. So you're going to be a person, you're going to have a very broad skill set. Can you do the accounts, pull a lorry out of a building that's crashed, fix the broadband, debug computers, hack into a system? You got to be a tenacious personality, and you've got to persevere. You can't have a tough day and take tomorrow off. You can't have the weekend off. You can't just knock off at 5 and go home. You're not going to have finished. You're not going to survive. The people that make it persevere and are tenacious. That's number one. Number two, now I didn't really believe in this one, but from what I've seen of most others, you need money. So from my experience, it wasn't, so you need money to pay your bills, whatever they may be, rent, mortgage, food. But then you are on beans and rice. It's that guy from the States. He's a financial advisor, and he always refers to this beans and rice. And it's a mentality. It's not necessarily that you eat beans and rice. It's so for 10 years, we bought one office printer, just like a little one, for 70 quid. And even though we definitely needed a big printer, the little printer kept working. It kept printing the order confirmations, the tickets, whatever documents you need. So that printer lasted 10 years, and it really wasn't adequate, but it was a money saver. The chairs I bought for new staff were the IKEA leather ones for 40 quid. The tables we bought were IKEA, and I bought the ones with bright pink legs because they were 13 quid, as opposed to the fancy ones with the black legs that were 60 quid, but the same table. It's the treatment of money. And so many people in business are frivolous. Nice car, nice chair, nice office, and the money disappears real quick. So, and then within, I think, quite a small amount of money, if it's just you and maybe one other, you can really get going on not a lot, as long as you don't have a huge expense, personal expense outside. So you definitely want to raise as much as you can, but I think for many it can actually be less than they think, but you definitely need money. Tenacious, the correct treatment of money, including the money, to expand especially, really help you get going. And so many businesses fail apparently because they don't have the money. Obviously because we survived, we didn't have that problem. So I always struggle a little bit with money, but it's generally that treatment of knowing. But I've talked a lot on marketing, expenditure, and all these kind of things, and it's just that efficiency that you want to look after. I'm going to say number 3 is hiring. You need to be good at hiring, and you need to be real good at firing. You put your best foot forward on hiring, and as soon as you realize they're not the perfect fit, you need to be firing. So long probation periods, at least a year, highly recommended, so that you can fire them at the end of the probation period. Make sure you do keep that live end date of that probation so that you can just go, oh, it hasn't worked out, thanks very much, see you later. Because most people just let it roll forward, and before you know it, the end of the probation's happened, and then they're staff. It's harsh, but it's better for everyone if you fire them and get good at this. Okay, next one is, it kind of goes in with tenacity, but it deserves a line of its own. You need to be a problem solver. That truck thing, it's one hurdle after another. Can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, how to do that. It's all problem solving. And boss man gets that job. So if you don't have that or don't enjoy that, definitely don't start a business. For me, that was always the fun bit. Learning the website, learning the apps, learning accounts, learning how to hire, how to fire, learning how to treat money. Tenacity is another. All of that to me was actually the bit I liked the most. Problem solving. The next one that you no way will survive if you are not good at organization. Either you or your first hire must be organized, especially around bookkeeping and processes for your staff. You want to have incredible organization, everything folded, structured in a process so that you don't have to think. Invoice comes in, what happens? Where does it go? Where does it get saved down to? How's the bookkeeper gonna pick it up and put it in the accounting system? Have a fail-safe silo system, one inbox, one outbox. For example, we use Dropbox, so all invoices, whether paper copies or electronic copies, all get transferred into the electronic copy Dropbox folder, and then the bookkeeper moves it out of that folder when it's posted. All organized, month end, all statements saved down so that the bookkeeper could be penny perfect. Organization, what are people doing? And make sure not only can they do their daily job, but then they have a secondary set of tasks that they can get done when they get quicker and quicker. And they should get quicker and quicker because, as per last video, you've hired 3 standard deviation people that will not only do their job, but they will do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 other people's job in one day. So, but you need to be organized so that they just have a constant barrage of work to accomplish. And they'll thrive on that if you've hired the right people. So be organized. Diaries, not to-do lists. Again, videos on that. real key that if you're not that kind of, I like everything squared away type person, you need to hire one real quick. And I know some creative people like to live in like a hamster's nest, and they say it's an organized disaster, but they're still not they're not the cream. You want someone that you walk into their office or their room or their car and it's just pristine. They live in a state of organized perfectness. And yet they can cope with a disaster. It's quite a unique personal trait. And whether you look into the Briggs-Myers and hire people based on Briggs-Myers, just on that, let's just talk about Briggs-Myers. So it's a personality test. We did it to all the staff in the office, and it was very strange. I was totally unique to everyone else who was on the far side. And to me, that signified that it's probably correct. You get the boss man who does all this, and everyone else that's the opposite of this. They're not that tenacious. They're not a problem solver, and they're not organized. So they sat on the complete opposite side. But you must have both, all personality types, because each one is valid. And seeing that I was the polar opposite to the staff was actually reassuring that I counterbalance them. So look in Briggs-Myers if you're into that kind of thing. Okay, sorry about the sidetrack. That's organization. That's it. Hit all my things. That's what it takes. I don't want to get into like positivity, because I think you can be a miserable sod and be successful. I like personally positivity and that upbeat mentality, but I don't think that's a deal breaker. These are deal breakers. You gotta have tenacity. You gotta have enough money to get going and be good with it. You gotta be good at hiring. You gotta be real good at firing. Problem solve all day long. That's all you'll do. And be organized, or at least try to be organized. I think there's a real difference. Am I organized? I don't know. I have kind of clutter, but it's organized clutter, because I need that laser pointer. I need that charging cable. I need that post-it note. I don't want it just all gone in a drawer, because I need it to hand. And then just organizing files and folders. Well, to me, it just makes sense to be organized. I wouldn't understand why someone wouldn't be. But then I look at my business partner who has no organization visually at all. So these need to appeal. If someone says, do you like being organized, problem solving, hiring, firing, and are you tenacious? If it's not a yes for all of those, forget about it. And if you're not good with money, forget about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it.